Yo, guys, it's good to be back. It feels like a day and a half. Can someone just let me know if they can hear me? I get paranoid when I haven't turned the device on in a long time and I start a stream because it's had a habit of coming up and saying your camera's disconnected or your microphone's disconnected. So anybody who's in here, just let me know that you can hear me and see me fine, and we'll get started. And I'm going to bring in my brother Mo, and it's been a minute since we've had a conversation as well. I'll probably extend it a little bit longer today, guys. We'll go for about 30 minutes. Thank you to everyone who's popping up in the chat. We've got 11 people here already on Inter Worldwide. It's fantastic, loud and clear, good to go. Let me just make sure that this slideshow is saved. Had a funny error the other day where I didn't save the slideshow on Google Slides, and then I was about to open it up and it was a completely other slideshow because there's some stuff that we got to get into today, some official news that we need to get into today, and then also what we need to talk about is where that potentially has Inter leading up, because one of the biggest talking points about the next week is that we are all going into camp. The squad needs to be ready, and if there's one thing I know about Beppe Marotta is that he always likes his squads to be ready in the preseason. So whoever rocks up to camp, we might be able to squash a rumor or two. And I know for sure there is one player that we're all just hanging to see walk into camp, smile, and put his thumb up. But I don't know if it's going to happen. So I'm just going to go to some of the comments first, and then I'm going to bring in Brother Mo. Slideshow is good. Ciao, Emiliano. Good to see you. Ciao to Juan Marco Paterno as well. Love the image, bro. Check all of his Twitter spaces out. Always present. Don't be like Huyan and tell me Hakan is better than Eriksen. Christian Eriksen just secured a nice little free transfer to Manchester United, so that's a nice little injection of quality, and he deserves one more big move before his career ends. Jono is in the chat. What do we think of the new Man U links to Stefan De Vrij? Let's rewind the video that we did on this channel 6 weeks ago that said De Vrij and Dumfries are going to Manchester United, because Ten Hag's going to go for these Dutch players. I'm telling you, man, and he can probably pick up the both of them, the pair of them, for 60 mil altogether. Eduardo, hola, good to see you, man. Nobody wants to leave, not even Sanchez. Yeah, but for different reasons. Big payday coming his way. Ciao, Matteo. Ciao, Pierre. Ciao to Urban Sniper. And ciao, il mio fratello, Moman. How are you, brother?
I'm okay, man. How are you doing? How are you doing? Layout is different. This is the layout Inter Worldwide. I'm glad to be back. And it's great to hear all these transfers. We're already the champions of June.
Yeah,
you know how it
man.
is.
We know for a fact that if there's going to be some sort of crisis or we need to deal with it, we've probably got the best director in the country to deal with it, man. Because, and I wanted to ask this, you Mo, before we get started, a lot of Inter fans are still very disgruntled at the fact that we know a big name is pretty much going to exit the club, but there are not many clubs in the world, Mo, bar maybe your 1, 2, or 3 powerhouses that are able to shift funds from one bank account to another. Everyone's looking for your free contract with the big. So everyone's looking for your free transfers. Everyone's looking for your loans with options. There's no one who is immune to selling as well. So in today's market, Mo, can we really be that disgruntled and that disappointment with the way Marotta is working and the way that Suning are still looking to keep us competitive at top level?
Listen, before I go to this, what's up, Gianni? We all do the spaces together. Guys, I just want to tell everybody we're not staying long, but the link is in the description of the video. It is pinned. If you want to come in, chat with us, just please come in and have your say if you want. Anthony, listen, I can't be angry at Inter because what we did is a great business in the first month. Before the start of even the mercato. All I want to say is that we already secured a top striker that is already proven to work in Serie A, that won Serie A before for us. We already got the vice Brozo in the midfield. We already got the right center back in Bellanova at the future. We already got the guy that might bench Hakan, Mkhitaryan, if he comes in, and he did that what he did in Roma 2 seasons ago, where he got the double digits in goals and assists. Why not can bench Hakan? So we already did a great business. This, for me personally, I would want Inter to go more for the established names, because this is Inter. Like we're not a scrappy club. We are a big, if not one of the biggest clubs in Italy, if not the world. So I would naturally, I would want us to be linked with the bigger names. But as you said, the market is the market. Nobody has money in Italy. Even Juventus are going for the free transfers. Even Juventus are buying
Have to
players
sell.
with like
They have to sell Delict. They have
five,
to sell
six
Delict.
installments to get a player. Five, six
Yeah.
installments, and it is. If we get Bremer and we get Milenkovic and we have to sell Skriniar, and I have questions about that because at the end it doesn't balance the books because we still have to pay. I'm hearing Bremer, we don't have to pay this year, but we have to pay the money. We are in good shape. Are we the favorites to win Serie A? Yes. Can we go deep in the Champions League with the squad we have? Absolutely. As Gianni said, if we get Bremer, Dybala, and we get Milenkovic to cover for Skriniar, and we still sell Skriniar, we have one of the best squads in Europe, to be honest. Like a squad wise, is not bad at all. Numbers wise, we can compete at all the fronts. So I'm not upset about the Mercato at all, even if we sell Skriniar.
Well said, and we'll get to Skriniar in a second and what it means, because if Skriniar leaving means we get both of these players, Bremer and Dybala, then we have no reason to complain. Although, losing Skriniar is still losing a large chunk of your team, but we'll get that into a second. I've got a slideshow coming in now. There's 31 people on Inter Worldwide. It would be great if you could like the video and share it around to everyone you know and just tell them to support us as well. Thank you so much to everybody who's in the chat. First, Asllani, very happy, man. Very happy. We have been looking for a vice Brozovic for a long time. And the fact that we've got Mkhitaryan on the bench as well to take off the heat of that more creative attacking flow to join the attack to the midfield, this guy is going to have a very good time this season. I can actually see him getting minutes. He was super happy when he signed. He mentioned that at a young age, this is huge for him at only 20 years of age. The former Empoli man is now an Inter player. How you feeling about this one, Mo?
He's gonna be coming in, learning from the best regista in the whole world. You can't tell me that anybody's better than him. There is only maybe Rodri in Manchester City is at the same level as Brozovic. The guy dominated Liverpool. So if this guy comes in and it is what it is, like he's a young player, interista, wants to learn, already played a very, very good season, to be honest. So we already got in a player that has already proven that he can do it in Serie A. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that we're getting someone that hasn't played before. We're getting a youngster that has had a good season. So I'm really happy about this transfer, to be honest with you.
Me too.
I'm very happy about him.
I'm liking the difference in targets that we've gone for. Every target that we've had to identify has had a purpose to fulfill. You need someone to come in like Lukaku, who is going to take the heat off Edin Dzeko playing into his years. We've needed a Bryce Brozovic. We know that the position on the right-hand flank is the most inconsistent in Serie A, and the fact that we've been able to lock down another youngster and another Interista. Look at this, from the 7th of November, 10 years ago. The guy would have only been in his early teens. Rahul Bellanova is an Interista. He's an Inter fan from birth. He is super duper happy to be here. These are great signings, man. I'm really, really liking the look of these signings. Bellanova is also great for the youth project. He's not going to be coming in to start games. Like, I still maintain the fact if Dumfries was to leave, we'd probably come in for somebody else, or we would rotate with Damian to start with. But I'm not too sure if Denzel is leaving. It all really depends on the Skriniar deal. But Mo, I'll go over to you after watching, because I don't know about you, but I actually watched a fair bit of Cagliari last season because of my agenda against them. And this guy was the standout guy. This guy was a dude, and I'm just really happy that he's here.
I like the physicality of Bellanova, the quickness, the big guy, physicality. I think he can make a good guy and a good player out of him. And also, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if in a month or two he benches Dumfries, to be honest. And that's not going to be good for Inter, to be honest, because marketing value for Dumfries now is about 30 million after getting him for 15. And if he continues like this, I think the guy is not yet old, Dumfries. So I think we can get good money for him next year. But I'm really happy that we got Bellanova. And I'm really happy that we didn't get the Uruguayan. What is his name? That we were linked to him every single Mercato Cagliari player. I can't remember, man.
Nathan Nandes.
Yes, Nandes, man.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so glad we got Bellanova and we didn't get Nandes, to be honest, because there is a massive difference.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably as Gianni says, you can see the comments, right? Like he probably is the future. And if you have the right wing back for the future in Italy, you have a very good prospect. And we have seen what Inzaghi can do, like with right wing backs from Lazzari to even Dumfries. I don't like Dumfries as a world class player, but the numbers he put last year, the guy can hold his position, and that's down to Inzaghi's plans and Inzaghi's progress with the players. If he can do this, man, with this guy Bellanova, we are in for a good player for the future.
100%. He's a big dude, 188 centimeters, over 80 kilograms. He's 22
Yes,
years
man.
of old. He's a
Can you
beast, man.
imagine
He's an
this?
absolute beast. Played 31 times for Cagliari last season, man. So he's once again, you sign these players like Asllani and Bellanova, they're ready. They're absolutely ready to go. Jono makes a good point. Inter have said they won't accept under 40 for Dumfries, may not be a sale then. Guys, we need to remember we've got assets in our team who, if they can make it out of the group stage of the World Cup, you're going to see their price skyrocket. This is a World Cup year. This is time for proper BS values. I'm talking about James Rodriguez, Marcos Rojo, all these players over the years that stole a mercenary sort of transfer fee after the World Cups. It's coming up. So your Dumfries could be 50 million and your Lautaros could be 110 by the end of the World Cup. You really never know. So maybe it's in Marotta's best interest, Mo, to hang on to a couple of those World Cup assets for another 6 to 12 months.
Maybe we sell him in January. Maybe because maybe who knows if Dallo in Manchester United and Wan-Bissaka will be the only two right backs that Eric Ten Hag will have. And then after the World Cup, as you say, Holland just go to the semi-final, the quarterfinal, and
That's
he
it.
did what he did like in the Euros. We are in for a big money coming in for this guy. We might not have to sell anybody next summer, like we get 45 for this guy. We don't have to sell anybody next summer.
Fair call, man. Fair call. Let's move to the next slide and see what's going on. There's still 28 viewers here. Make sure you like the video as well. Let us know where you are from. Tweet coming out from Sky Sport and Dimarzio. PSG have not made any new bids for Milan Skriniar. It is a slow negotiation. Man, I saw that they might drop 50 on Scamacca. If you want to drop 50 on Scamacca, you need to drop 80 to 90 on Milan Skriniar. These Sassuolo guys, man, someone put a fly. I would love to be a fly on the wall of their directors' meetings and their all their CEO meetings, because it looks like that they're just going to kill it in this market again. But let's talk about the Skriniar deal for a second, because we go into camp pretty much tomorrow, my time, 2 days, in 2 days' time, whatever it is. But it still looks like this will have to be the domino that falls. So, Mo, A, do you think it's going to happen? B, do you think if Skriniar rocks up to preseason camp that he could stay? And C, if we do replace him with Bremer and Milenkovic, does it still scream good deal to you in the long run?
So number one, do I think it will happen? I think it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same as you remember Hakimi. They kept stalling. At the end, they paid what we wanted.
Yeah.
This is PSG. They want a center back. There is a word that Kimpembe is actually leaving to Chelsea. So I think we will sell Skriniar. Here's the problem, and I went back to check because I think I was like misled at some. I watched a lot of Torino last year, and Bremer is a sweeper, is a central defender in the center of back three.
Yeah.
We can Skriniar. People say Bremer, and I've there's a lot of people in the comments. Like Gianni was we were talking to Space and said like probably he's not worse than Skriniar. We remember that Skriniar sometimes for his nation he plays at a center mid. So the guy can play football. He's not the best, but he can play football. In Zaghi's plans, we need two center backs that move up with the ball. I'm not sure if Bremer can do this. From what I watched, the guy is a beast in terms of like playing in the back and interceptions, clearing the ball, physicality. Is he good in carrying the ball forward? This is Milenkovic. If we sell Skriniar and get Milenkovic and Bremer, we have a one extra in the defense, because I don't think Bremer is the actual replacement for Skriniar. Talking about Skriniar himself, we would lose at least 30 to 40% of our strength in defense if we lose Skriniar. Now, the new guys might come in and they might replace him like this, flawlessly. They might just come in, slot in, bam, it's working. And it might not. The only thing I know now is that Skriniar is working at Inter. Do we need the money? Yes, we need it. If they come with 70 million, we're selling? Absolutely, we are. We're absolutely selling. As people say, Yes, because Bremer, I agree with Johnny, because Bremer is faster than De Vrij. He is someone who can recover really easy, which is something that we missed in our defense. The problem is De Vrij going to be benched, or it's a long season? They're gonna replace each other. We'll see, but we still need the right center back. I know that you have this in your agenda, the Akanji thing and the Milenkovic on the right side, but we'll see. But is Skriniar going? I doubt that he's gonna stay, Anthony. 8 million for him a salary on the table, 70 million for Inter. Would be idiots to reject it. Even though I hate seeing this guy go.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Let's move on because I have a feeling that this saga will get plenty more coverage and we'll be on top of it as soon as something does actually happen. Satriano is on a dry loan to the Tuscan club Empoli. Another good move for me. For me, this says that we're willing to give this guy a chance. If we're loaning him back to a club in Serie A that's just had a half decent season, this guy is going to basically have the same sort of audition that Pinamonti will have. If he has a fantastic season, maybe we could see him at 2 or 3 years' time come back to Inter. Well, no matter what happens now, we're at that critical stage of this brother's career where we're either looking to play him into our squad or cash in on him, because at the end of the day, he cost us nothing. He cost us peanuts, and we are going to have to move him on soon. The same way that we've moved Pinamonti on now to Atalanta, which looks to be in between about 15 to 20 million. But I'm actually confident that this guy has a breakout season and we can either bring him back the year after or we make a pretty penny on him. Quick comments on Satriano, Mo, and we'll move along.
I wanted him to stay. I wanted him to be benched, but we have too many strikers. And if Dybala comes in, the guy doesn't have a spot. But I believe this guy can have a future at Inter.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think a lot of people are agreeing. Fern, welcome to the channel. I haven't seen your name here before. He's going to smash 12 goals this season. Yeah, he probably will have another one of those stat padding seasons. Juan Marco Paterno,
Yes.
the big boy, says Satriano 6'2", quick, fast, lethal in the box. Could be a future Julio Cruz in the making.
I can't agree more. This is an absolute. This is exactly what it is. But he's too young, and we have too many. You know, we're trapped in the moment, Anthony. We have like Lautaro today. We have Zeko today. We have Lukaku today. We have Dybala today. We're not thinking about the future. But I agree with Gianni. This guy can be the future of our forwards. To be honest, like he's great. Has every aspect to be a good forward.
People need to also remember he's not 17 or 18. He's 21. He's there and he's ready to go. So we either have to give him a chance this season, next season, or it's probably not going to happen for him because he's going to need first team football from here on in. He's not a teenager. And, you know, if you can give players like Asllani and Bellanova a run, you should be able to give players like Satriano a run as well, regardless of if he's ready. Him and Beirami are going to cause a havoc. Empoli is going to be a good side to watch, man. They are going to be a good side. I'm so excited for Serie A and even Serie B next season. It's pretty much going to be the only thing I do with any of the spare time that I have. Bruno in the house says, as long as we don't make the same mistake as Coutinho. Yeah, but in this market, man, imagine we should be able to fetch more than what we did for Coutinho. That was an absolute disaster. Kev Birch, check him out. He says, I don't believe Satriano will have a higher ceiling than Pinamonti, with a year in age difference, with Pina having more experience and scoring. You need one good season at a mid-table club, Kev. You need one breakout season where people start watching, and it's the difference between 10 million and 30 million, man. I hope Satriano gets the same opportunity Pinamonti had at Empoli. They seem to be a club that are willing to give him a chance. The reason this slideshow is side by side is because they are linked. The sales of Arturo Vidal and Alexis Sanchez are going to be the only way that we bring in La Jolla, Paulo Dybala, and I think it's still going to happen because everything in the media is pointing to the fact that it will happen. There's a little bit of a lapse in time between Inter. Let's link him to Roma. It lasts a day and a half. It dies in the culo. Let's link him to Milan. It lasts 2 days. It dies in the culo. Let's link him to Napoli. It lasts 2 days and it dies. Everything points to the fact that Marotta has got this deal agreed and tied up. Mo, what are you saying about this one, man? Do you still think it's going to happen? And if it does happen, are you that happy? Because me, as I'll just say it, as soon as we signed Lukaku, this to me started to look like a luxury signing and something that actually does not need to take place. I will welcome it with open arms because I think it will be a success to a degree, but I'm not going to cry Dybala tears if it doesn't happen. You?
So Dybala gives us something extra that we don't need. It's exactly what he says, a luxury signing. He's not going to start every game, but he gives us something that we don't have in the squad. That flair, we don't have that. It's only him, and he's probably one of the best in Serie A. Now, do we need to pay 4 years, 8 million or 7 million net for someone like Dybala? I don't know yet because we don't know what is going to happen next 2 years. If we switch coaches in the next 2 years and we have Dybala for an extra 2 years for a 4-3-3, and if we get another coach, he might be the best signing that ever happened to us, because all our squad now is set up for a 3-5-2. So, in my opinion, Dybala is a luxury signing. If we can afford him, I'm gonna deal with this, Anthony, as a big club. Any player like this is good for me. I
Yep.
don't care if he's gonna cost us this. I'm a fan, and I analyze Inter, and I would love to talk about Dybala in a watch along, and I would love to talk about Dybala in a match analysis, to be honest, because this guy gives you something extra. I'm gonna cry only if he goes to a Napoli or a Milan or a Roma. If he goes
Yep.
outside of the country,
Yep.
I don't care, to be honest.
Well said, man. 100% agree. Urban Sniper, first time on the channel, I think. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining Inter, man. Do you have any idea the level of pain and suffering you have signed up for at your age? Most of us just make the call at a young age where we don't know better. But full backing to you, man. Full backing to you. Thanks for coming on. And yeah, we do good content here. So please continue to stop by. Lord Figo says we need Dybala because we need a cam or a center forward games that we can't score goals. But, you know, as we said, man, look at the forwards and the depth that we've got at the moment. And with Lukaku coming back, we're thinking of bringing Idan Dzeko on, who half the time was playing as an attacking midfielder with the way he was picking up the ball deep last season. We have got players in each position, man. Segue question for you, Mo, before we move on to the next slide. If you have to move on one out of Dzeko and Correa, who do you move on and why?
For next year, I would move on Dzeko, to be honest. But the problem is Korea has a resale value because we have to pay the money. Korea has a resale value, Dzeko doesn't. So,
yeah,
marketing-wise, I would definitely keep Korea, but because of the resale value. But footballing-wise, if we're talking only about this year, by the way, Dzeko, as you said, might give us something that we don't have off the bench.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Exactly. Gerald makes a good point as well. Dzeko will stay because he's one of the only ones not going to the World Cup. Well said. Dybala is needed to bring dynamism. Also, it does make sense with the exposure, man. Dybala has, pardon me, 5 times the social media following of our entire club. I'll say that again. Paulo Dybala has 5 times the social media following than our entire club. So we are opening up to a different little avenue there of Dybala fanboys, which should be enjoyable. The team has gathered for training. They will go to camp over the next 48 hours. And once again, I know this doesn't always happen because, you know, we saw Raja Nainggolan and Mauro Icardi walk off a bus to camp to train with Antonio Conte. And then a week later, they were moved off. We've seen Romelu Lukaku rock up to training, take photographs with Inzaghi, and then on his way to London. It's the other way around this time. Lukaku, Onana, they're already in training. So is Mkhitaryan, so is Bellanova. They're going off to camp. If Milan Skriniar rocks up to camp smiling, I'll be optimistic. It'll all be on his face. If he doesn't rock up to camp, Ronaldo thing, you know it's not happening whatsoever. But Mo, the boys are there. The boys are ready. The boys are fit. Let's talk a little bit about how they're going to start the preseason. Textbook game against Lugano. We always go over there. It should be fun. We also play Monaco. We play Lens, sorry for my pronunciation. We play Olympique Lyonnais as well in Cesena, and then we play in Pescara against Villarreal. So some good preseason fixtures to get us warm up and fit because, you know, I hate playing teams that you smack 7 or 8-0 in preseason because it's not really a game, it's training. Mo, what are you looking forward to in the preseason? How do you think we go at it?
I'm just looking forward to see how Lukaku, Mkhitaryan Gozens will change the way we play, to be honest with you. This is it. This comment here, Gian, it's 5 years later. We still have this freaking Dalbert and Lazaro in the team. And it's 5 years later, like flashback every freaking preseason.
You can't move on trash like trash like this.
Huh?
You can't move on trash like this. It's too hard. No one wants to buy them.
Absolutely ridiculous that I'm still seeing these 2 names on the Inter sheet. It's ridiculous. And we have to offload these 2. Anyway, I think I'm looking forward to probably the 3rd game or the 4th game against Lyon or against Lens to see how the team is going to play, to be honest. And how Lukaku is going to change it, because I have a feeling that Dzeko and Lukaku might be lethal, to be honest. I know it's Lautaro, Lukaku, but I think like Dzeko off the bench with Lukaku, this is going to be something that I'm looking forward to see. It's just, I'm really looking forward to this season, Anthony, because I think this is our season, to be honest, in the Champions League and in Serie A.
Wow, big call, man. We really, looking back on it now, we really did do a number on ourselves not winning the Scudetto last season. But there's still plenty of good memories, man. I watched the Coppa Italia final for probably the sixth time the other day when I was sick with the flu, and I was like, "Holy crap, man! How did this team not win the title? How did they not win it? Because we're kicking ass all over the place here." Don't watch it too many times because you'll really start to get paranoid that the void that Perisic is leaving is just an absolute gulf. Because what a season that he had, man! But with the acquisition of Robin Gosens, I'm pretty confident. Do you think he's going to have a big season for us?
Yeah, absolutely. The guy's gonna bang goals left and right for us, like he did with Atalanta.
Exactly. Business done so far. Onana in, Mkhitaryan in, Lukaku in, Asllani in, Bellanova in, Dybala on standby. So the respect has to go to the directors, Marotta, Ozilio, who really doesn't get enough credit as well. Inter fans are usually like, oh, if something good happens, it was Marotta. If something bad happens, it was Ozilio. But he's been there for a while now, and that's his Skriniar is his signing. Remember that. So full credit to him. I still remember when we signed Skriniar and Bonucci was on the move for Juve. Most of the fan base was saying we should be going for Bonucci. Bonucci is the one to come in to add the quality, but thank God that we didn't, man, because that would have ended really poorly. This is how it looks so far, and hopefully the big boy Bremer is the next one on the list. He's literally named after an Inter legend. I think it's done, man. I think we're going to go for it. I think we're also going to move one player in the opposite direction to cushion the blow of the deal. Who do you think it's going to be, Mo? You think it'll be Gagliardini?
Oh man, if I'm gonna have a party
Yeah.
if we go next season without Gagliardini, to be honest. But we don't have any midfielders other than Aslani and Mkhitaryan, to be honest, in the midfield.
So who
If
do
we
you think
move
we
on
could? Well,
Gagliardini,
if we bring on Dybala, it allows
no, that's not a
Inzaghi to be a
midfield.
little bit. I
You
know, but it
can't.
allows Inzaghi to change a little bit more, but it's still not a midfield.
We can't. We need three midfielders apart from the forwards. This is because Dybala cannot be a midfielder. We need three midfielders, to be honest, and we need to get someone for Gagliardini if we are moving him on. Uh,
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Gianni's saying that probably Cassidy or something on loan. Yeah, probably. Like we can't just go in the game in the season with only two midfielders as a bench. This is not gonna work.
Mm.
I think, to be honest, I think Gagliardini is not going. He's gonna see out his last year, to be honest, because his contract
Yeah.
expires next year.
I think so too. That's what I was going to say. Guys, we've been going for 27 minutes, but there's still 40 people here. So there's no way I'm going to leave this now. That's all the content that I had to cover. So drop your comments and drop your questions into the chat and we'll just, we'll pretty much go from there. So Mo, question for you from Lord Fiegel. How do you feel about De Vrij not having a lot of offers? Just before that, I'm going to say, I reckon there's a late offer coming in for him from Ten Hag and United.
I think so too. It might be a late offer coming in for the guy, to be honest. This is something that I think it's gonna happen. Maybe something is cooking. Maybe they're waiting to close on Bremer to sell De Vrij to make sure that we have. But also we have to understand that we let go of Ranocchia, which was the replacement for De Vrij. We don't have anybody. If we let De Vrij go and we get Bremer, we're really down to one central defender in the middle. We have left center backs of Bastoni and DeMarco. We have right the Skriniar, Darmian. We have D'Ambrosio. And if we sell Skriniar, even we still have D'Ambrosio and Darmian. And also we're gonna get Milenkovic, but we don't have a central defender to play in the middle. This is something that we never thought about because Ranocchia was a given for all these years, right? Like
Yeah.
now he's not in the club, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Bastoni being linked with the captaincy, I think it's too early. I think it's either going to be Brozovic or Barella who gets that. Any comment
Brozovic
there?
for me,
Yeah,
because
give
I
it to
know Gianni
Brozovic.
is not gonna like this. Hoyan is not gonna like this, but it's Brozovic for me.
Yeah, I love this question as a segue. Johnny says, for both of you, who is your favorite player from the Interbenta era?
Guarin for me.
Really? Why?
The guy was fearless, man. Like he played.
Yeah.
I know that he shot like a lot of birds around San
Mm.
Siro, but he was fearless. Like the guy was I like the way he played. I'm really sorry for the guy that he came to Inter in the banter era.
There's a few players like that. Yeah, for me, it's Rodrigo Palacio, man. Such a gentleman, man. And pretty much the only joy was watching his rat tail putting it in the back of the net. I still remember where he scored the goal to make it 1-0 against Milan in the derby, and like probably what was the worst derby di Madonnina of all time. And it just went from boring to elative in the space of a second. Matt Pickham says, with Vecino and Vidal gone, we need an enforcer type in midfield. We do need someone a little bit tough to come in there. Will Van Helsen be in camp? I think so. I think he actually was there. You can correct me on that, but I was watching Zil Sharma's video and he said he was there. So if he said it, then he is right. There's 43 people on Inter Worldwide right now. I didn't expect that at all. So like the video and share it around as we continue to grow towards 1K. We have a lack of left centre back backup. Incorrect, bro. Dimarco played his better football at left centre back last season, and he's going to be very important and versatile on that left hand side. A proper Interista. You've almost never seen an Inter player celebrate as hard as he has. Like me personally, in my life of watching Inter, he is a huge fan, proper Curva Nord fan and member and everything. We should get David Luiz then. Yeah, but at what wage, Gerald? I saw that rumor come out and I'm like, holy crap. I hope we're not thinking of paying anybody over 2 to 3 million for this sort of position, because remember, Ranocchia was as low as 1.6 million for the season. So we're not looking to blow a wage on that there. Ranocchia is Bruno's favorite player of the banter era. I think Matt Pickham's Campagnaro, one of your faves. I did not like Campagnaro too much at all, but once again, a player that was played a little bit out of his flow. Didn't Zhang say today that he wants to have a big team and that revenue will come from digital? He did definitely say that. That's on the back of Arriva Bene, the director for Juve, saying that it's time to gear towards entertainment rather than always having screaming and chanting in the stadium. And that's not going to be something that appeases a lot of the Juve ultras and the fans, but it is what it is. Mo, unmute yourself. What have you got to say?
It's just this. They do these stupid videos to present players. They can't even have a proper video for Lukaku, and they want to get money from social media. Like look at the big clubs doing this big marketing thing and big like social media work, and then we can't even do good videos for our players. That doesn't cost a lot of money to do a good video. Get like signing Lukaku thing should have gone us like 5 million likes or 5 million, but we didn't. Like look at like I'm not gonna compare Lukaku to Ronaldo, but look at like the clubs when they sign. Like Gabriel Jesus went to Arsenal and got them a lot of jersey sales right away.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unbelievable that we can do like a campaign for someone like Lukaku who destroyed Serie A for 2 seasons, and we can just do a good campaign so we can get money off him. It's weird, man, how Inter work, to be honest.
Fair enough. Good question here. Jamie says, when will Onana become a starter? Mid-season, in the new year, or straight away?
Straight away.
I think so too. After the first 2 to 3 games, I think we start with Handanovic in August, and by mid-September, you're going to see Onana as a starter, especially when the first rotation of Champions League comes around. I would agree. Ranocchia is probably better for us than David Luiz is at this point. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming in again. Never thought I would catch your live stream at 3 a.m. in Germany, but yeah, I couldn't even tell you what time it was in the world these days, man. Urban Sniper, sorry, I missed Donald's comment. Donald says Dimarco is not a left center back. Just look at Alna. Bro, I don't want to relive that goal. I've still got nightmares of De Vrij pointing for him to go to the far post and it all happening in slow motion. How many goals should Lukaku score for us to make sure we win the Scudetto this year? See, this is the thing. Beppe Marotta is a numbers sort of guy. He wasn't looking to replace Lukaku with another Lukaku. He was looking to replace his numbers. That's why he brought in Dzeko and Correa. He was thinking, cross fingers, these two have got the numbers in them to make up with Big Rom. And he was almost there. Had we got there, we'd be building the statue of Marotta already outside the stadium. But we didn't get there. Now Marotta's like, you know what? Screw it. For 8.5 million, I'm just going straight back to Chelsea. I'm going to rinse them, take them to the cleaner, and get my GAs back. GA-wise for me, it's got to be 25. It's got to be 15 goals and assists. It's got to be 20 goals, 5 assists. It's got to be something stupid, and I don't care if they're consequential goals or inconsequential goals. Inconsequential meaning he scores the 4th goal in a 4-1 rout against Spezia, puts his arms up to the crowd like he's the king. What are you saying about it, Mo?
I think Lukaku will score 20-plus goals, and he's going to go back to Chelsea. They're going to sell him for big money.
Yeah, that would be lovely. That would be lovely.
That would be not good for us. That wouldn't be good for us. It'd be good for them.
Yeah, at this stage in his career, I'm not looking to have Romelu Lukaku for 2, 3, 4 seasons. If we did, fantastic, but I'm not at the point where I'm like, we got to lock him down. We got to lock him down. Whatever happens here, happens here. Whatever will be, will be. We've got him back at a steal for this season. If Romelu Lukaku can bring us a Scudetto, whatever happens after that, I'll be at peace with that. Gerald says, true, but no one wants to join, but one wants to join Inter and the others wants to leave. Beggars can't be choosers. Kev says, Serie A is the benchmark for announcement videos. Don't know what's wrong this year. Lack of money in Serie A in general. Lack of money in general. Bruno says, Inter spent so much on the announcement of Ericsson when he signed in the Duomo, but it's too much to constantly do. Yeah, we're on a tight budget at the moment, man. I think we're just looking to save coin and pennies all around. Mattia, are you going to the San Siro next week? That's awesome, man. Fantastic stuff. I think you might have told me earlier, but you're like me. You traveled with no football. Donald says, DiMarco is more than good enough to be a backup for Bastoni. De Vrij played his part in Arnautovic's goal being slow. Hello from Egypt. Omar, good to see you, my man.
My brother from Egypt. Same here.
Fern says, how do you think we will finish off the Mercato? My prediction is that we sell Skriniar and we bring in Milenkovic, Bremer, and Dybala, and it closes there. What about you, Mo?
Yeah, I agree. And if we ship Gagliardini, we'll get someone on loan in the midfield or something.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. We're also going to let Pinamonti go as well. He's definitely not going to be here next season. There's 45 people here. That's awesome. Like the video and share it as well. Would rather get him on another loan. Sorry, I completely forgot. Oh, yeah, Lukaku now. We'll see what happens there. Isn't there some sort of rule mode where you can't loan for more than a season anymore? Or are we going to find a loophole through that as well?
I don't know about that. But there is a gentleman agreement that he's going to stay with us for another year.
That would probably happen. White Suburban Kid, thanks for coming through again. Skriniar has to stay. I know it's not looking good, but we'll see what happens, man. And love to you from Pakistan as well. Guys, if you stuck around with us for 36 minutes, I really, really appreciate it. That's all we're going to have time for today. Mo, any parting comments or anything you want to speak about before we leave, everybody?
No, we're just looking forward to the mid-July to end of July to see how we finish this Mercato thing. And I think, in my opinion, we're going to close the Mercato end of July.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I think we're going to close it there as well and go into next season with a very strong squad with a lot of depth. Guys, thank you if you stuck around. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, share it around as we get to 1K. Plenty of content coming soon as the Mercato heats up. My name is Anthony. This is Brother Mo. Forza Inter worldwide. Ciao ragazzi.